Hello, TMP community. Today I'm going to be making a little video showing you how to take some really nice screenshots. So let's jump right into photo mode. So a very important thing when you're taking screenshots is first, of course, finding the right location. Uh, as long as the location is okay for you and it's somewhere you want to take a picture, then it should work just fine for the picture. If you don't like the location or you feel something's off, then maybe drive off to somewhere else and see if you can find a new location to take a picture, or just try to move your truck a little bit. When it comes to picking angles, it kind of comes down to personal preference in a way. It depends on how you want your truck to be seen and what part of the environment you want to display, and so on and so forth. So it's all personal preference on that part. I prefer taking low angle shots, more looking up at the truck and capturing some of the environment. So also another thing I really recommend is your field of view. Some people like their field of view out like so. It doesn't really look that good on pictures. I prefer a little bit of a zoom so that you can kind of capture the truck a little bit more and you feel like you're more looking at something more specifically more than the surrounding. You're now looking at your truck or whatever you want to display in your picture. Now, if you're connected to the server, you can't play with your depth of field, unfortunately, so everything will be in focus. But if you're in offline mode, which I am right now, you can play with your depth of field and you can really set what you want to capture, what part of the truck you want to capture, what part of the background you want to capture, and just what you want to be in focus. I prefer having the cab as much as possible in focus and then trailer fading out a little bit. So an easy way to start playing with your field of view is just putting it all the way down to 0 so that you don't see anything at all. Everything is blurry pretty much, and then you go from there. This way you can really set and see what you're capturing in your DOF. Now when it comes to saturation and color balance, I like to bump the saturation up a little bit just to get that more vibrant color in your picture. And then also, if you're using reshade like I am right now, I usually like to turn my reshade off and try to balance it out so it looks as close to the reshade as possible, because right now the picture looks really good and I could take it right now, but that would mean that my reshade does not get captured, which it doesn't get captured by usual, so you have to edit your picture a little bit. So if I go and turn my reshade off, I like to bump the blueness a little bit. Now you see the picture becomes really blue and you kind of have to outbalance this and see if you can get like some cyan in there. And you really have to play around like this to get your color settings right. Now you don't want it too green, you don't want it too blue, you don't want it too red, anything like that, and it just makes the picture look a little weird. But right as it is right now, I would say it's a little bit too much towards cyan, so if we jump that down a little bit, we kind of capture more of a grass color. The green color shines really well together with the gray, and we just generally capture the environment very well. Now in this picture, I'm trying to focus on getting the truck in the picture, not so much the background. If you want to focus on getting the background, I recommend turning the depth of field either off or just very light depth of field. Now we have some pixelation going on here in the background, so we should probably try to adjust that a little bit, maybe turn the strength down a little bit on the blur and work from there. So now we have a really good picture here. We're capturing some of the background with some trees, some foliage, and we're showing our truck off really, really well. So we're going to go ahead and take a picture of that, and now I'm going to show you how to find your picture. Okay, so I play ETS2 on window mode if anyone is asking. So we want to go in and open up our file explorer. Then what we want to go and do is go to our documents. Then we want to go to Euro Truck Simulator 2. Then there's a screenshot folder. Now what we can do is just scroll right down to the bottom and you'll find your most recent screenshot. Now this, if you upload it directly to Giazzo or anything like that, usually you get a low resolution picture. Well, this is pretty much full HD right here. So I recommend using Image Database, which I'll leave a link to, and you can use that to upload your photos and make sure you get that full HD quality on your picture. So all in all, that's pretty much it. What you have to do is just try to play with the color settings, play with the depth of field, and just generally upping that blue color helps a lot with your picture and saturation as well. Don't bump the saturation too high, because then you'll start going into the places where the colors look very unnatural and where things become a little bit too much. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope this helps you out when you're taking your screenshots, and happy trucking.